Hi everyone, in this video we're going to go over why your website's color scheme is important. So color plays a really important role in every project that you have, from printing promotional flyers to creating your brand's logo and establishing your brand's identity. This is no less true for your website's color scheme. By using different colors, you're able to convey emotions, drive conversions, and even earn loyalty from your customers. When building your website, choosing the correct colors may be a difficult task, but not only is it important to find the correct colors to convey your brand, but balancing primary and secondary colors can also be a bit of a challenge. So in this video, we've broken down some basic tips on color design in order to help you choose the best colors for your brand. So what is a color scheme? A color scheme is a selected group of colors that are used for design and artistry. When you use color scheme for your website, you want the site to be easy for your customers to look at, to navigate, and for your brand identity to be visible and easy to understand. When it comes to branding, it's one of the most simple but essential routes for an organization to succeed. And there's so many reasons why an organization will use brandings that touch on a number of areas. Establishing a unique brand identity is important because it focuses on constructing a brand that possesses a lot of human characteristics. A brand's identity and personality should reflect what an organization wants to project to the public. It's then important for organizations to use and develop their personality in their marketing functions and then bring that forward to their website. So choosing a good color scheme could help you establish that brand identity as well, make sure it's very visible and easy to understand. One of the most important ways to accomplish this is through your color scheme. So by choosing an interesting and eye-catching color scheme, you can ensure your customers' attention. Without the right pop of color, your website can bore customers or be confusing to navigate. A great color scheme will help you keep customers on your site for longer, create an emotional response to your brand, encourage something called brand loyalty, and help you stand out amongst the competition. Brand loyalty is the most important aspect when it comes to being a company and a customer. If you think about it, have you ever wandered into a grocery store? You tend to have a tendency to buy products from a company that you're more acquainted with. That's something known as brand loyalty, and having a good color scheme can help you establish that. So color surrounds us in everything that we do, from the outfit you put on to the decor of your home to the drinks that you buy. Color plays a really huge role in daily life, and it can affect our mood and attitude towards products and services. So in this example here, we can see sort of popular brand colors and what they're commonly used for. If you look at the color purple, purple is a color that's commonly associated with royalty and luxury. So if you think about a website like Cadbury, they use a lot of purple, not only on their website, but they use a lot of it on their packaging, their marketing as well. So it's no surprise that this brand uses purple in a lot of their marketing, because by using this color, they convey a sense of luxury and decadence in their product. They want their customers to associate their brand with being more rich and more sophisticated than their competitors, and using the color purple across their branding, across their marketing, across their website really does help achieve that. Even if without even the words, you can tell by the colors as well. Just what this brand is suited for, and you can get a sense of what their product will be like as well, and if it's something that you're looking for, more inclined to buy. So that's just one example of how color can play a role in our perceivement of a brand. So now let's look at the color wheel. The primary colors are the basis of the color wheel, and these are colors that are found naturally and cannot be created by mixing other colors as well. The easiest way to pick out a color scheme for your brand is to use this color wheel. The color wheel is made up of 12 colors, which make up a set of primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. By understanding how this color wheel works, you can create color schemes that work together and will look great on your website. So as mentioned before, you have first of all, you have the primary colors, and these form the basis of your color wheel. They are found naturally. They cannot be created by mixing other colors at all, and they are blue, red, and yellow. Then you have the secondary colors, and the secondary colors are created by mixing equal parts of two primary colors. On the color wheel itself, the secondary colors sit directly between each of the primary colors that are mixed to create them. So, for example, the primary color blue and red make the secondary color purple, and you can see on the color wheel, purple is directly between blue and red. The secondary color orange is made by mixing the primary colors uh, yellow and red, and you can see orange sits directly between these two. And a secondary color green is used to mix is made using a mixture of yellow and blue, and that sits directly between the yellow and blue on the color wheel as well. So those are your secondary colors. And lastly, then you have your tertiary colors. And tertiary colors are created by mixing different primary and secondary colors. Um, so these colors are located between the primary and the secondary colors that are used to mix them. So in total, you can see there are 6 tertiary colors. So for example, the tertiary color chartreuse sits between yellow and green. So you know that yellow is the primary color used to make chartreuse, and green is the secondary color mixed with the yellow to make this color. Amber is a tertiary color if you mix yellow and orange. Vermilion is the tertiary color if you were to mix orange and red. Magenta is a tertiary color if you mixed purple and red. And violet is a tertiary color if you mix blue and purple. And finally, teal is a tertiary color if you were to mix blue and green. So tertiary colors are made with one secondary color and one primary color. So you have an understanding of the different colors subsets in the color wheel. Now you can use that to figure out your color harmonies. So color harmony is defined as the property that distinct aesthetically pleasing color groups have. So it's created by selecting colors that will work well together and complement each other very well. There are many different techniques that can be used to pick out harmonious colors. So for example, complementary colors are two colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. So for example, purple and yellow would be an example of complementary colors because they're directly opposite the color wheel. And it doesn't have to be, primary to primary, secondary to secondary, or anything like that. It can be any two colors on the color wheel that are directly opposite. So green and red are complementary colors, blue and orange are complementary colors. Then you have split complementary. So this technique is a variation of complementary colors. This technique includes 3 colors. So you have one base color and the 2 colors that are adjacent to its complement. So you've got the base color purple and you've got the 2 adjacent colors as well. These make up split complementary. Then you've got dyad. So this is 2 colors that have one color between them. So for example, vermilion and magenta is a dyad, and they've got the red in between them. You've got triad that's made up of 3 colors that are spaced equally from each other on the color wheel. So magenta, vermilion, and amber are spaced equally on the color wheel, and their 3 colors together form a triad. Then you have analogous. So these are 3 colors that are directly next to each other on the color wheel. So magenta, red, and vermilion, as an example. And then you have rectangle, or sometimes known as tetradic. So these are 2 sets of complementary colors equaling 4 colors in total. So if you remember, complementary colors are colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel. So 2 sets of those would make a rectangle. And then finally, you've got a square. So those are 4 colors that are all equally spaced from each other on the color wheel. So for example, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. These colors form a square on the color wheel, with each color being spaced 2 colors apart from the other colors. So that's an example of a square color wheel. So going back to the brand color statistics, this is useful to understand the psychology of colors and what each color is used for. So each color can be used to convey a different meaning and provoke different emotions. We've seen that earlier in the example of Cadbury, using the color purple to convey luxury and decadence within their product. And some of this is subjective and can change from person to person, but for the most part, there are common color portrayals for each color and examples of brands who use them for the color. So, for example, the color white is typically associated with anything clean, purity, minimal, sleek kind of marketing. And you can see this as an example in Apple's website. So Apple use a lot of white in their on their website. That's broken up with different sort of with black as well. But this kind of portrays a really sleek and minimal kind of design, um, and a kind of clean, kind of a sense of clean as well. And this kind of helps with their product that they sell to ensure that their brand also portrays that as well. Um, so this would be good for any kind of personal projects that you have. If you wanted to use this color scheme, this kind of color scheme would be good for those kind of projects as well. Then you have pink, and traditionally pink is associated with femininity, sensitivity, respect. And you can see this, for example, in Barbie's website or like the Barbie page on the Mattel website. So Barbie traditionally was seen as a very uh, feminine kind of character. And the color pink has been used for decades across their marketing and their packaging as well. And now it's been brought over to their website, um, and it portrays that sense of youth, femininity as well, and it really does suit the product that they're trying to sell. So pink does kind of convey that, and they've really stuck with that with all of their marketing, their product packaging, and now their website as well. Next, you have red, and red represents traditionally represents power, passion, life, romance, danger, things like that. Um, a popular example would be Red Bull. So Red Bull does use a lot of red within their packaging as well, and they bring it forward slightly in their website. Um, the red is sort of seen as a call to action color. So you've got the buttons that are highlighted in red. And call to action colors, when they're highlighted in a sort of power color like that, it engages the user and sort of leads them to click on to what it is that you want them to do. So in this example, they're using the color red to draw users to their products, and essentially go through all their products. And that's the main thing that they want this website to do. So it's a really good example of how the colors that you use can essentially lead users to do exactly what it is that you want them to do on your website. Next, you have the color orange, and that's associated with words like friendliness, spontaneous, confidence, things like that. So, for example, Fanta use a lot of use a lot of orange in their branding. They've brought it over in their website as well, but you can see that the orange makes it very kind of fun and engaging, and does promote that kind of friendliness vibe onto their website as well. And you can see that their buttons, their call to actions, are a darker shade of the yellow as well. So again, it's a different way of using called your color schemes and your complementary colors in order to lead the users to what you want them to go to, whether that's to explore your product, buy your products, get in contact. You'd use colors like that to lead your users to the right place on your website. Next color then is blue. And blue is a color that's mostly associated with trust, dependable, calm, smart. And you see this in a lot of social media examples. So, for example, Twitter and lots of other social media, for example, like Facebook as well, they will use blue as their main kind of color to convey that kind of calmness, trust as well. People are more kind of inclined to use websites that associated with blue because there's that trust. It is a color that does promote a lot of trust as well. So Twitter is an example. Facebook is another example. You can see with Facebook, their logo is fully blue, and all of their accent colors, their call to action colors, is blue as well to kind of guide you in the right direction, but also make sure that you're going to the place that they want you to go to. The next color then on our color wheel is is yellow. And yellow is a color that's traditionally associated with sunshine, happiness, and just a really like nice feeling in general. McDonald's is a big user of yellow, so you can see it in their logo. It's used across their website extensively, so it's used in a lot of their call to action, their accent colors and things like that. It's a very bright, uplifting color, and makes you feel good sort of when you're using it. So Yellow is a great color to have if you want to evoke that sense of joy and happiness. And again, they're using their main sort of accent color as the kind of call to action color to guide the user to where it is that they want to go on their website, whether that's to order something, to find out more. It helps sort of the users navigate across their website instead of them being sort of everything sort of blending together within the background. So it's a really kind of good color to have. Another color is black. So black invokes a sense of boldness, mystery, strength. A really popular example of brands using black is Nike. So Nike use a lot of black on their website. They use black and white as both, and the black is kind of used to break up the content a little bit. But again, it evokes that sense of boldness, which is a really good thing for Nike to be associated with, and strength as well. Again, those are common themes that work with Nike. So they use a lot of that in their logo. They use black across their branding, and they use it on their website as well. And again, they use it to kind of separate out the different call to actions on their website. So it's a good color to use as well. Purple, we've talked about, so it evokes that sense of loyalty, luxury, prestige, decadence, things like that. And we see that a lot in Cadbury's website and Cadbury's branding as well. It just seems like a more expensive and luxury product compared to the other competitors that they might have out there. Brown is another color that you can use in your branding. Brown represents protectiveness, reliableness, a sense of wholesomeness. And Hershey's use it a lot in their packaging, and they use it a lot, nicely on their website as well. And again, they use those colors to kind of guide the user to like their nav bar. They guide it to their main kind of call to actions, whether that's to listen to something or to just move on to another page and things like that. And finally, another color that provokes a really strong sense with their color is green. So green is very strongly associated with being eco-friendly, health and wellness and outdoors. And a really good example of a company that employs a lot of green to convey that is Whole Foods Market. So you can see on their website a lot of they use green to kind of portray that sense of this is a very earthy and like eco-friendly company, or at least that's what they want to portray at the forefront of their business. A lot of their branding is to do with sort of health and wellness, and the green really portrays that. And again, they use the green to kind of I use that as an accent color and use that for the call to actions, their call to action banners, the contact banners, things like that. So it's a really good color for that, but it also just means they're using it in a way that conveys exactly how they want your website, they want you to perceive their branding. So those are just some colors, and again, so the psychology of colors the meaning of it is subjective and it can change from person to person, but those are just kind of what they are traditionally kind of used for and what they're known for even to this day. So knowing which colors will promote the right emotion and identity for your brand is a huge part of choosing the right color scheme for your website. And all of that will help kind of balance out colors on your website. However, it is all, and it's really important to make sure that the colors balance out. So it's recommended that you break down the colors you want into 3 main categories. You've got your main colors, you've got your pop colors, and you've got your neutral colors. So main colors are what will be used, for example, for approximately 75% of your website design. You use these colors on every page of your website for content, headers, and general information. Then you've got pop colors. So these colors are used kind of sparingly throughout your website. Pop colors are used to highlight only the most important information your customer needs, such as your call to action. And this can be in the form of a button, it can be in the form of a banner or a form or something like that. And then you've got your neutral colors. So neutral colors are used sparingly, but more often than pop colors. These colors are used for backgrounds, negative or empty space, and within your content. How to choose the color scheme that's correct for your website is a good way. This is one of the good ways to do it, is to break down your colors into the main colors, pop colors, and neutral colors. In order to choose the correct color scheme for your website, you will have to take into account of all the information given in this video. So what type of emotion or feeling do you want your website to convey? Do you want to use primary, secondary, or tertiary colors? So, for example, if you own a yoga studio that focuses on mental wellness and strength, green may be the perfect starter color for you to look at. Green can bring that feeling of nature, well-being, energy, and it's really perfect for inspiring yoga customers to try yoga at least. The next step is to choose how many colors you want to work with. So by taking a look at the different color harmony techniques, this can be narrowed down. Then based on your main color, you can decide to use similar colors with the analogous technique, or complete opposite colors by using the complementary colors technique. The best tip for any color theory beginner is to keep your color scheme simple and incorporate your branding. So when you're building a website, brand identity is insanely important. You want to make sure that your site will convey the right message, promote your brand, and most importantly, keep customers engaged with your site. All of this can be achieved by choosing the right color scheme. Not only is this helpful for your website, but the same color scheme can then be used for packaging, social media posts, and many more promotional aids. By choosing a color scheme that works for you and your brand, you take the first step towards designing an amazing standout website. There are some website platforms out there that make it really easy to to create a brand palette and apply that to your site. Um, and they do most of the work for you in terms of applying the correct color schemes to the correct branding on your site. So, for example, the Wix platform. You'll notice when you're on the Wix editor. So, if you're on your editor and you go into this icon here, there's an icon for site design. And you can see they have something called the site theme, and this is essentially your site color palette. If you click on customize, you can customize the colors, and you can see that they've broken down the colors into 5 different color forms. So color 1, for example, are colors used for the background and text across your website. If you've added Wix apps like Wix stores, Wix blogs to your site, those pages use the same background color and text as well. In a lot of cases, you'll see that the brightest tint, so this brightest tint number 1 is over here. This is used for the background, while the darkest tint, so this dark tint here, is used as the text. So with Wix, we recommend kind of creating a high contrast preparing so that the information on your site is easy to read. Color 2 is your action color, and this is what also known as sort of like a call to action color, and it's used to drive visitors to make the choices that you want by selecting an action color that kind of stands out. This color is used for actionable elements like links, buttons, menu elements. It also appears in themed elements like buttons and boxes, as well as pages related to Wix apps. The tint in the middle, so of color 2, is used most frequently. So we recommend kind of choosing one that contrasts with your background color. This ensures that the most important elements in your site area are accessible and noticeable. Color 3, 4, and 5 are additional colors. So you can choose up to 3 additional colors to complete your color scheme. These are displayed in various places across your site. So you want to make sure you pick complementary colors to the other colors that you've chosen, so that it all kind of works together. If you're having trouble with picking a color scheme yourself, you can choose an existing theme that they have. For example, if you wanted to use one of their themes here, they have a preview over here they'll show you different colors that's being used in that theme. And what you can do is you can click on to a theme color here, and it'll update your site with that theme color. And that way it takes away a lot of the stress of picking out colors. So if you aren't sure about what kind of colors to use, you can just use one of their existing colors as well. And they'll apply to your site theme in any way that you kind of want. Or you can use it as a starting off. So you can start off with the colors that they give you and then click into colors and update one of the colors if you're not happy with one of them. But essentially they break it down for you. So it's a good way to kind of ensure that you're using the correct colors and you have the colors that you want used on your site. When building a website, brand identity is insanely important, and we've seen that so far. You want to be sure that your site will convey the right message, promote your brand, and most importantly, keep your customers engaged with your site. So by choosing a color scheme that works for you and your brand, you take the first step to designing an amazing standout website. To find out more about perfecting your website, contact ProfileTree using our contact details below.